video tomorrow. Please do subscribe if you're a DC fan, because a lot of great DC content are packed for you guys, to be honest. Now let's start this off nice and slow with the narrative of Justice League Dark 2018 and move upwards. Of course, we know that magic in the multiverse is misbehaving, and Wonder Woman is doing everything in her might to stop it with the help of Zatanna. As they team up, which includes the trickster Constantine, the great guardian Swamp Thing, Daddy's favorite magician Zatanna, our new Night Master Bobo, and our crazy Batman potential killer named Kirk, who is a genius. Both Swamp Thing and everyone else could feel this great discord. As they seek answers, they journey to one person who sure knows what's going on, and he goes by the great magician named Nabu. They meet Dr. Fate, who wasn't actually in the clothing as they got tricked, while Nabu tried sacrificing them to the great horror of the Upside Down Man. And before we continue, if you're a DC fan and enjoyed this, then subscribe, because a lot more incredible videos are coming as long as this channel exists. And tomorrow we will be getting an Upside Down Man video, so turn on post notification. Now this video is strictly going to be on Hecate and Wonder Woman, which would feature a few other things as well as Wonder Woman more drew amped form. But before we talk about which mark Wonder Woman, how about we know how this came of such? Down within the crossroads of Themyscira, we have a child not being looked after, and of course children wonder because of their lack of basic understanding, which makes a lot of things intriguing to them. We see a total of 9 women dancing like they are mentally derailed, which they are as long as I am concerned, because of being possessed by a lawful witch ritual, in which, funny enough, from the Wonder Woman witching mark or witching hour, yes, and the ending of the Wonder Woman story, just seems like female gods or goddesses are those who perform this ritual, or more like servants of gods, because the women who worship Hecate were from Themyscira. He chased down Wonder Woman or Diana for Hecate, in which she got marked by the burning arcane of the metal that burns through the air on her forehead with 1/5 the power of Hecate. And she wasn't the only one, as there are 5 in number. Rebecca, who was the first. Then you have Manitou Dawn, Alba Gracia, who is of the red, and finally Circe. In fact, Circe was the first. Each possessed Hecate's power, and Hecate you see moving around isn't even her true form, and her true form is what was seen earlier on in a corporeal body, and still she is incredibly powerful. Now, my body itches me a lot to talk about the might of the Upside Down Man, but that would be tomorrow, like I said. Upside Down Man notices this feeling he knows coming from Wonder Woman, as he questions who is she. There are a lot of context here that builds up a lot of things in DC, but that's not for today, but I will review all or most as we move on. The Upside Down Man touches her head after literally grabbing the panels to draw her closer, and activates a power that is yet kryptonite to his essence. And that's the power of Hecate, which is 1/5. This power was able to seal off the other world from the multiverse via the Tree of Wonder, which was used to bring them here by Nabu. And this power of Hecate closed it up, and also brought back Swamp Thing, Constantine, Bobo, and everyone else who got killed basically within the area they stood, which was just her teammates though. The reason why she could seal the opening away is the same reason Upside Down Man gets sealed away from Hecate, because she was so terrified of him, as he is pure magic, and an archetype of horror and nightmares. Hecate is the goddess of magic within the light multiverse, but that energy was taken from the dark multiverse by the Lords of Order and the first magic users after the light of creation came and the darkness fled, which was the presence that was the light. Later on, the dark multiverse grew bigger and a lot more terrifying, which I will cover up in my Swamp Thing video. The other world is just the sphere surrounding the dark multiverse, as the other kind uses the power of the great darkness, which has threatened all of creation several times, with just a small part of it. So Hecate is the opposite of Upside Down Man, and she is the magic that was brought to the light multiverse, which is opposite to Upside Down Man, and ranks above everyone within the light multiverse. And that's the same for Upside Down Man in the dark multiverse. And Hecate is the collective unconscious. But Upside Down Man can manipulate the collective unconscious, which the creation myth differs within it, as that's how most gods exist, and the dreaming helps such unconscious thoughts to create beliefs. With 1/5 the power of Hecate within Manitou Dawn, she was able to nearly kill Ramakrishna, which guards the boundaries of one of the endless, which is the death, and death is correspondent to life, as she is there for every beginning and ending. This will be dived in further in my endless scaling. And if you're this fan and interested in all this, then subscribe and turn on post notification. Now, Ramakrishna exists at the top of the sphere of the gods, which is a metaphorical Platonic archetype of myths, which is all created by Hecate. He states that wherever her witch powers are, then she's there at the same time, in which Swamp Thing pulled a good feat, as he should do normally, since he is the guardian of the parliaments except life, and he stated he is fused with all the elementals, in which the green is explained as this thing, which isn't just a place or a realm, and not merely imagination, which is already the 5th dimension in DC, but it lies in between idea and reality, where the memories and consciousness of roots, stems, leaves, and flowers exist outside of time and space, which exist in other worlds beyond just Earth or the Godsphere, which I will explain more in my Swamp Thing video, and show the full but brief extent of this in my Upside Down Man video. Probably. He could reach out to the green, but not nearly the full thing, which this is a feat for Upside Down Man, but you will know tomorrow. Swamp Thing was going to hold an entire archetypal Platonic city, known as Nanda Parbat, which Hecate, who says that magic is which is an extension of herself, is now a liability which she will burn out and recreate back, as she fires beams powerful enough to reshape reality from a body that holds less than 20% of her power, and arguably even 0, but that's 20% is for another reason. She made the green scream for help, which is an absurd feat because of how powerful the green gets at full extent, which reaches up to the level of baseline high auto versal. And we have Alba Garcia, who stood at the center point of the parliament of trees, in which is made of both plant and flesh, as Black Orchid, who fought for both greens and red. Familiar and loves the green, but the witch mark gave her one sole purpose, and that's to kill the parliament of trees, which is a high auto versal feat, as even Swamp Thing can't be revived if he dies across existence, which I will go deeply on the green in my Swamp Thing video. So subscribe and turn on post notifications. Now, There are quite a lot of things I left out which will be done in several videos like Swamp Thing, Upside Down Man, Nabu, and watch my Hecate video so you know all the DC videos I am going to do. Also subscribe and turn on post notification. Seriously, it takes you about 30 seconds. We then have to move to Amped Mordru, Wonder Woman, in which Mordru gave them power enough to split or destroy the DC universe or multiverse, which they would share. And infinite divided by infinite is still infinite, but yet this has to do with sets. So each of them should have power enough to destroy up to the level of the source at least. Also, I would do a Mordru video in which, as well as the Presence and Lucifer, which isn't so far to be honest. Now they go back for the final round, and they all were so powerful that they beat all the Lords of Order as they become the Lords of Chaos, in which they held a small part of Mordru's power, which Zatara directed them to, and indirectly refers to Mordru's power and as ending all of existence at full power, which is the truth, as a mere part of it is stronger than the Lords of Order, which only Nabu shit-stomped Constantine, and two other killed Etrigan, who laughs at the face of the Presence. With time, everything will be exposed and explained, so you better subscribe. Even Zatanna was powerful enough in this form to rip the comics like Upside Down Man, and what you see is just the overvoid or section out of the infinities. The battle is so immense that it shatters reality and Nabu gets killed, which all these are high ultraversal feats of varying degrees on the baseline tier, which is very impressive, and max this gets to infinite high ultraversal tier, which might be corrected based on the cosmology video I might do again, while further explaining the cosmology and feats that breed such verdicts. Now that I have gone over everything mainly concerning Wonder Woman, and a bit of what needs to be said from other angles to quantify her, but there's one more thing. We know that with just having 1/5 of Hecate's power, Manitou Dawn was able to nearly kill Ramakrishna, and these same powers spread through others and are 5 in number. This power is able to close the borders of the other world to here, which is all linked with the Dark Multiverse, which marked Wonder Woman before her body got taken over by Hecate. The power of 3 which Mark was flowing through her that her demigod body couldn't handle it, and it stated it is enough power to destroy the universe, which of course is referring to the DC multiverse, and even Constantine says she's the most powerful god that ever walked the planet, which he had interacted and seen beings like the Endless, Presence, and many more. And like I said, the scaling for Hecate won't be done until you basically know the scaling of every top tier, or you can simply know from Upside Down Man and very much blatant statements and narrative. And one more statement one more feat's also very impressive, right? Hecate had the power, almost the complete power, literally 4/5 of Hecate's power, and then the 1/5 power she Diana had, plus a demigod strength, plus the Mordru power she got, was able to seal off the power of Hecate from Hecate, which is very impressive. Now this video comes to an end here, but isn't over, as you have to watch my Upside Down Man video, as I promised in my Hecate video, to go over the creation myths and more. In my upcoming third DC cosmology video, that's when you guys would understand how all this plays out in the cosmological hierarchies. And if you found this video informative, please do to like, share, comment, subscribe, and see you all next time. Peace!